Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when it finds you. I hope you're having a great day. Just want to share something with you right quick. Just, have a few little thoughts on my mind. Nothing long at all, but, my mind's always wandering. I was just thinking, you know, uh, right now we have Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee down here in Houston talking about she wants to run for mayor. And sadly, a lot of black folks and some white folks gonna go vote for her. I remember years ago going to vote one morning, and how the people sit outside the voting location and promoting their candidates and all that. And there was a black lady sitting out at the table, and she told me, we have three people on the ballot for city council, and that's three black people we need to get in office. And we got to stop this going with this color, because black leadership not going to save or rescue us. They've proved that over the years. And I'm not just talking about your politicians. I'm talking about your preachers. I'm talking about your so-called black leaders. None of them have come to help us. None of your black athletes have come to help us. None of your black celebrities have come to help us. Oh yeah, they throw a few dollars here and there, but they're not really helping. Once they become part of that upper crust, they don't even know who you are until they need you, until the system spits them out. As a matter of fact, when black leadership gets involved, our progress has always slowed down and regressed. And, I remember reading in one of Marcus Garvey's books. I believe it was a selected writings and speeches of Marcus Garvey. And, he said you can pay the Negro leader to hang his race and block every effort for self-help among black people. And the only person that's going to save, rescue, and help you is the person that stares back at you in the mirror every day. No help is coming. Stop waiting for help, because it's not coming. If it hasn't shown itself in all of these years from the past, in spite of all these black men and women speaking for us, all these black men and women so-called represent us, it isn't coming. We need to stock up on some perseverance and determination to make it better for ourselves and our descendants. We need to stop pussyfooting around, because, our life on earth is not infinite. It's finite, which means it actually has an expiration date. And none of us know when that day is. And I don't know about you, but I really don't want to know. I lost my first classmate from high school 3 years, not even a full 3 years after I graduated high school. And I've lost many more since then. I was actually just thinking about some of my classmates the other day, guys I played ball with in high school. The classmate I lost almost 3 years after high school was a guy that ran track with me in high school. And I lost my best friend from college on July 4th, 2014 at age 43. So life is shorter than we think. And once we hit age 40, according to stats, we've already passed the halfway point in our life based on lifespan or life expectancy. And, I was reading something the other day, and it was even saying, the life expectancy numbers are really not true, because they factor in, people that got killed in their teens, and, car accidents and all this other stuff, murder. They said, we're really not doing a real service by throwing all that in on life expectancy. Let's talk about the life expectancy of people that don't go through murder and car accidents and all this other stuff, But, it is what it is. And, some of us have heard the term prepper. And that seems to be a big thing that a lot of people are doing right now, especially with the way society is going. And I remember some years ago they had a show on TV called Doomsday Preppers, and I'm like, man, them folks crazy. But you know what? Them folks might have had some sense. And so, maybe you like I, thinking, these are some crazy survivalists and bushmen. But, speaking of the term prepper, in order for us to plan our life, we actually have to be a prepper. And I'm not talking about in the sense that, We've seen them, and I mean, I guess it might be a benefit to do that too. But we have to prepare for our children. We have to prepare for our children's future and college future. We have to prepare for our lives. We have to prepare for our retirement. You know, why do we allow folks to tell us that we will live on 2/3 or 67% or less of what we struggle to live on now at 100%? I can't even say 100% because when you figure in taxation, you're already living off 60% or less anyway. But see, they tell us that our expenses will go down. And how is that really impossible? I mean, possible when everything continues to rise. Your expenses don't go down. That's a flat out lie. Your income decreases, but everything else continues to rise through some form of inflation or hyperinflation. Even deflation messes you up economically. If you don't understand that, start studying that a little bit. You know, if you haven't bought life insurance when you're younger, try to buy some now and see what it costs and see what the difference is in cost from a person at age 25. And you see, long as I was single, the life insurance the job provided, that was sufficient for me. And even back then, what the job provided was still more than what the average funeral costs today. And so, being single, I had put the life insurance in my sister's name. And then when I got married, I had to go out and buy life insurance. Even though the job provided life insurance, I had to go out and buy life insurance to make sure my wife was protected. And so you need to start doing that and teaching your children those things early. Health insurance continues to increase as well as the current living expenses. So you got to learn how to be a prepper because you need to learn how to prepare for a better life financially, morally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. They've got us conditioned that we're supposed to be sick in our older age. And what I'm finding out, the more you go to a doctor, the sicker you get. Because they're going to make sure they do something to make sure that you're not a patient. They're going to make sure you remain a customer. They want to make sure you remain an income stream the rest of your days on life. They don't like healthy people. And they'll do everything they can to make you sick. And I've even seen what doctors have said that. They said if you get sick, don't go to the hospital, especially on the weekend. And so we got to stop sitting around thinking someone outside of ourselves is going to move us from our current position or situation. We need to stop looking to ignorant politicians because they only want to become part of the ruling class. And they lie to us to become a part of it. Once they become a part of it, they ignore us and our issues because our issues are not their issues. Their issue is to elevate themselves at the expense of the people. They have let us down and nothing is going to change in the foreseeable future. We need to also stop putting trust and faith in community organizers and so-called spokesmen for us in our community. We need to stop putting so much faith in these preachers and pastors too. Yeah, I'm going to stay on them too because they've let us down up in them pulpits every Sunday. Your pastors and preachers got a pulpit or podium. Your so-called black leaders got a pulpit or podium. And your politicians got a pulpit or podium. And ain't none of them doing nothing to benefit us. There is a huge difference between community service and service to the community. A prostitute provides community service.